Hey y'all, it's your host Tori Kruse. Welcome to Talk Y'all to Me, your red carpet insider, your friend behind the mic, and the girl behind the scenes connecting fans, artists, and stories that matter. Most of all, a lover of real, honest conversations. Here on Talk Y'all to Me, we pull back the curtain with country artists, industry insiders, faith-forward creators, and everyday leaders, talking about what it really takes to show up, lead with heart, and stay true to you. So whether you're figuring it out, think you've already got it figured out, or if you're just here to learn from the best and keep a pulse on the country scene, this is your spot. So lean in, turn it up, and let's talk, y'all. Hey y'all, it's Tori Kruse. We're back here with Talk Y'all to Me, and today we have a Texas country music artist in the house. We probably should have just filmed this in person, actually, because we are like a rock throw away from each other. But Tristan Roberson, I am so grateful to have you here on Talk Y'all to Me. I mean, we've had a chance to get to know each other a couple different times at award shows here in Texas, but I'm just excited to dive deeper into your music and the heart behind it all and how you got to where you are. You're 18 years old, just graduated from high school and taking this thing on the road, on tour, and just you have so many incredible opportunities. And I just love catching up with you every single time. So welcome to Talk Y'all to Me.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited we got to do this. I've been looking forward to it for a while, and it has been a while since we last talked. So I'm excited to update you with everything that's going on in my life.
Yes, well, let's dive right in. What's going on? You have some new music. You have a tour. Let's update everybody.
Yeah, so I just released a new song called Everything About You. I'm on tour constantly. So actually, I just got back from a festival in Monterrey, Mexico with Braxton
Ah.
Keith, which is kind of fun. So we had a great time there, and we're hitting the road hard this summer. I just graduated high school, which is kind of cool. So, we're making moves. The snowball is snowballing. It's really fun. I'm super excited.
What was it like going to perform with Braxton?
It was pretty awesome. Funny enough, so that was the first time I met Braxton, and he is a super cool dude. I love that dude, and it was really unfortunate because at the end of his set, apparently he was going to call me up for a song, and I was too busy packing the van, getting ready to go because our bus time that we had to leave was like 9 o'clock because we didn't rent cars or anything, so they had shuttles, and so the last shuttle for us to get on before it was like 12 o'clock at night, we were like, let's just get on this earlier one, and it
Yeah.
was right at the end of his set, and so he finished his set and he came to the side, and he was like, "Where's TR?" And I'm like, I didn't even know, and I was so bad. So, it's
Oh shoot. Hey, that's what people don't see though. So that's the stuff we need here on Talk Y'all to Me. Like that's the real things that happen behind the scenes, right?
yeah.
So tell us what kind of music you're playing now. What's your new single out?
Yeah, so this song is a kind of like a train beat, just kind of chugging along. But it's a love song I wrote and about being in love with somebody, and even though their imperfections may be apparent, you still love them for who they are. So I feel like that song really encaptures the I love everything about you.
I have to ask you, are you in love now?
It's complicated. We shouldn't talk about it.
Shoot.
Yeah.
But that's what the people want to know. You bring
Yeah.
up a love song and it's like, where was this song inspired
Yeah.
by? Was it a real life, personal story or just something that you think some people go through?
It definitely is inspired in a real life scenario, for
Okay,
sure.
well, we'll circle back to that maybe at the next award show, and
There
you
you
can
go.
update the fans on
Mhm.
Talk Y'all to Me about that then. But so dive into the storyline though of the lyrics.
Yeah, so it's about showing that other person that like no matter what they do, you're always gonna love them for who they are, even though it could be a very annoying attribute, you still love
Mhm.
every part of that person. Like when you sign up for a relationship, like you're in it for the long haul. And like if you leave just because of a minor inconvenience, then you're not really in love with that person. So it's
That's so good.
yeah, so it's definitely it's like a promise to that other person to be like, hey, no matter what happens, like I love you. I'm gonna stick it through. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's how it works.
That's so good. And it truthfully is so relatable. And that's what I love about country music is, most of these songs just share like a real, like true, vulnerable story where you just like pour your heart out in it, and it's really relatable to people. I mean, that's real life right there, but what a really beautiful outlook on relationships too.
Yep.
Are you ready to go on tour singing that song?
I am, yeah. I think this weekend is the first time we're gonna sing that song, so I'm excited.
That's exciting. Do you write all of your own music?
I do, yes. Yeah, so I either write either by myself or I'm writing with other writers, but I like to be a part of every song that I record because it has to be personal to me. Or,
Mhm.
I haven't had the opportunity to cut another song that somebody else has sang or written. And the only reason I would do that is if that song really truly resonated with me, as an individual or something that has happened with me or something. So I'm a very big originality guy, so that's kind of like one of my staples.
I love that. What really like keeps you grounded through all of this? Like what inspires, I mean, of course, like the personal journey, but what really like keeps you grounded and like moves you through writing each of these songs? Like how do you get inspired?
Yeah, inspiration is a hard thing for me, because I'm constantly in work mode, I guess, when it comes to music.
Yeah.
It used to be like I'd be super inspired about something, and now it's like my brain is always on for music, and so it's
Hmm.
kind of a difficult thing to be inspired by stuff nowadays. But I do get ideas, and I do get inspired on some scenarios. It was a lot worse a couple of years ago when I was first starting because it was like constantly work, and I wasn't trying to be a musician as much as like a business person.
Hmm.
So definitely kind of rotating my point of view to be like, this is art. And if people are going to actually resonate with it, I have to be an artist. And so that means I have to create what inspires me and what I enjoy creating. And I need to stop focusing as much on, making a hit song rather than
Yeah.
self, and that's the thing is like everybody wants to be like, super famous and sell out shows, but like if you're not doing what you love, then is it really worth it? Yeah,
It's so true.
I'm definitely getting there. It's very hard to get out of my head and stop comparing and having an ego.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, for me anyways, it's always through prayer because,
Yes.
the more success you get and the more you're in the limelight, right? You're on stage, it's like it's like asking God for humility and remove the ego, like that's
Yeah.
one thing that I know for myself I always have to lean on, and I can imagine that's something that you would do just being on stage. But
Mhm.
where like you have such a mature outlook on like what I don't know many people your age, and I don't want to focus too much on your age because that doesn't really matter at the grand scheme of things because your success has been incredible. But I think there's something super inspiring about where you're at in life. And I don't really know many people your age that have had this amount of success, but deeper than that, like the mindset that you just said about um, just your awareness and also the business mindset. Like, where did you get that from?
Yeah, so in my short 18 years of life, I've been through a lot of traumas and stuff. So my parents are
Hmm.
divorced, and they divorced when I was I think I was like 1 or 2 years old. And
Oh,
so
wow.
that divorce was very, 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 very messy and
Mm,
hasn't stopped until the day I turned 18. And so
wow.
yeah, it has been a super terrible, experience to be a part of. And it's
Hmm.
really because I'm in the middle of it, right? And so I don't know what's right, what's wrong. And so I've had to do a lot of self-reflection and being hyper aware of my, who me as a person is to, for me to understand in my head that like it's not my fault. And so
Right.
I feel like that has really made me grow up as a person. And I I'm not sure why I am the way I am, but yeah, it definitely has like made me kind of stand out in front of, people I know, and it's been hard in high school to like resonate with people. Not because
Yeah.
like I think I'm more mature than them, just because they have a lot different experiences than I have. And I am a Christian and I believe in God, and I feel like God has opened my eyes to things and has made me a very you know, reflection person. I don't know how to
Hmm.
say that correctly.
Yeah.
So I try to be the best person I can, and yeah, I try to be a good person.
Yeah. Well, you are. I mean, I would have never known, without reading a little bit up on you before this, and then you just sharing more about that. Like, I would have never known that you had such a challenging childhood because of the young man that you are now. And so, just props to you. And I hope you take some time too to be super proud of yourself for how far you've come. And, those challenges, as unfortunate as they probably are
Mhm.
also what have probably made you who
Yeah.
you are, and for some odd reason, it's like God puts that stuff in our paths once in a while, right? And
Yeah.
or for 18 years. And then it's like, all right, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully. But that's cool that you lean on God through all those times. Hey, y'all, quick pause for something important. If you're connecting with this conversation, you will love my new book, Unexpected. It's filled with the stories, lessons, and mindset shifts that help me grow through some of the toughest and, quite frankly, most unexpected seasons of my life. My hope is that it inspires you to keep going even when the path doesn't look the way you imagined. You can get your copy now at torikruse.com. Now, let's jump back into the episode. Has there been somebody, besides your faith that you have leaned on as a mentor through this process?
Um, no, not really. My parents, my
Oh.
mom is my manager, so I guess, her, but there's not like a person that I have gone to like have a different, like an outside input on things.
Wow. How have you gotten to where you are without like somebody like that in the music industry?
I don't really know. That is
That's
something
God's favor. That's
yeah,
God's favor right there.
it really is a God thing. I have been super blessed by him, and I have been very wow, we're getting really deep here. Okay.
Hey, it's on Talk Y'all to me. We
Uh,
can't go this deep on award shows, so
I
this is
know,
the
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's been a very lonely process in the music industry side of things because, like, it's really one of those cases where, like, I've tried to reach out to people and, they just brush me off. So
That's
there
crazy.
hasn't been really like a person in the industry who's kind of like helped me with stuff other than the man, the myth, the legend, Greg Sachs. Shout out Greg Sachs. He has helped my parents a lot with the business side of stuff and the radio stuff. So I love that dude. But on the artist side of stuff, there hasn't really been like a true mentor to me.
Wow. Who do
Mhm.
you look up to in the music industry?
Yeah, so I really look up to Zach Top. I love that dude. His
I
guitar playing.
just met him at the ACM Awards. He was
Oh
super
my God.
briefly, but
No
yeah, he
way.
was a cool dude. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's super cool. Yeah, I love that dude. Obviously, Braxton Keith, love that dude as well. I love Hudson Westbrook. I love a lot of older traditional country artists like Hank Jr., George Jones, Randy Travis, George Strait, of course. So I'm
Yeah.
very well rounded in my music taste, I guess. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, your style of music kind of reflects all those. Like now that you say that, it's just a very, I wouldn't say it's like it's more of like the 90s-ish sound, but like, I don't know. It's just, it has a good Texas rhythm and beat to it. But also, by the way, I saw that you're playing in Nashville. Have you performed on Broadway before?
I have. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we played at Chiefs on Broadway in where? When was this? I don't know. It was sometime this early this year. Oh, April. It was April. Yeah.
Okay. How was that experience compared to Texas?
I prefer Texas. I'm
Yeah.
just Texas is way better. Broadway is cool. Like you can say we're on Broadway, but like Broadway is like they don't really care.
Mhm.
They don't care as much as
Yeah.
Texas does. Like they're just in there to get drunk and not really pay attention to the music. It's just background. So Texas is like intimate. They're watching the music. So
Yeah.
I love Texas.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I mean, well, Broadway specifically is definitely just like, tourist for the most part
Yeah.
there to party and bachelor parties, bachelorette parties. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can see where Texas is much more like focused on the music, on the performer and things
Yeah.
like that too. Nashville has its own beauty in itself, right? But
Yeah, it
Texas
definitely does.
it
Hmm.
feels like, there's something with Texas country that feels like family. Do you think so too?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like when I went to the first T3R award show that I was a part of, which was not the last one, but the one before. That was
Hmm.
the first award, Texas award show that I've ever been to. And so I was like instantly welcome. People were coming up to say hi. I was like, oh, dang, this is like super, super nice. And, going to the TDR, the TCMAs, all the different kinds of award shows, like seeing everybody that's in the scene is like so refreshing. And, you know,
Hmm.
having that bond with people now is like super cool to have. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any group here in Texas that like gets artists together?
So there's like a group of like probably like 10 kids my age who all just kind of screw around and, meet up, do songwriter retreats and stuff. So, we try to hang out as much as we can and we all support each other when we're in town. So there is a mini group. So it's like the most notable people are like Dylan Reese, Peyton Riley, Ty Smith and the
Hmm.
Minor Offenses, Dalton Grice, Chloe Ray. That's kind of like the group, I guess. So
Yeah,
yeah, they're all like 18, 17, 18, 19, 20-ish. So
that's
Henry,
important.
yeah. So it's fun.
Yeah, no, that's super fun.
Yeah.
So, what do you want your fans to feel when you're out on tour here coming up, going down to San Antonio, back up to Fort Worth, all around over to Nashville. What do you want your fans to feel through your music?
When they listen to my music, I want them to feel like it's a personal story, like
Hmm.
something they can actually relate to. And some of the more fun songs, I hope it brings a smile to their face. Like that. That's
Yeah.
the reason why I do this is to like make somebody's day a little bit better. I
Hmm.
I am there for their entertainment and for their comfort, I guess. Just to know that they're not alone in situations that may be good or bad. So that's kind of my like life story for music.
I love that. How do you just like stay on top of things when you're going like city after city after city? Like, how do you get your rejuvenation and keep your mindset on track?
Yeah, that is the hard part about this. Especially when I was in high school, like I would have like no time to myself. And so it has been a very, very rough journey and it
Hmm.
it's getting better now that I have, a little bit more time, but it's being filled up and there is not a lot of rest time, but I wouldn't trade it for the world and I love what I do and this is what I was made to do, and I feel like God put me on a mission, and I'm here to accomplish that mission. So I get as much rest as I can, and I run with it.
Hey, you're young, man. I mean, this is the time. This is the
Exactly.
time just to go at it. And you know what? You can rest later. I mean, it's important to rest, but this is the time to really run after everything that God has called you to. And you're doing it. You've won awards. I mean, you are every single year just growing and developing into more and more of who God's called you to be. So what can fans expect from you, in the months in this next year to come? Is there even more music coming out?
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of music. So like we just went to the studio and cut 7 songs in Nashville, and then we also cut 12 or 10, 10 songs here in Dallas, and there may or may not be an album coming. Who knows? Maybe an EP as well. So who knows? We'll see what happens.
We'll
Whatever I'm
see.
feeling, we'll go from there. But there's a lot of new music, a lot of music I'm very proud of, and I'm really excited for the people to hear. So
That is awesome. Well, we're excited to hear it. And I'm so grateful we had this time to catch up. And I am just really, really, I'm always praying for you, man, because you have so much ahead of you. You've already had so much success. And I'm just really grateful that our paths keep crossing. And best of luck to you out there and just keep doing your thing. You're a huge inspiration for all people, but really for people your age. I am excited to share this episode, and I really hope that it brings a lot of motivation to other people that are also, in high school, graduating high school, on to college. I mean, there's not very many people that speak as honestly and openly as you
mhm.
do. So thanks for your vulnerability and just keep being you and keep being a light for Jesus because that's what you're doing out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much for having me again. I'm glad our paths keep crossing as well. But if there's no vulnerability in who you are, I mean, are you really like an artist? Like you have to show your emotion
Hmm.
in this industry. And I'm not afraid of, telling my story to, make sure people know that they're not alone. If it affects one person because I opened up a little bit and the other, however many people think I'm an idiot, that one person is all that matters to me. So
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with telling people like the way I am, whatever you need to hear from me, like I'm an open book. So and there's nothing to hide.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Hey, that's what connects with people, right? So, I just, yeah, just keep it up and always cheering for you. And I just appreciate you coming on Talk Y'all to me for a full podcast episode this
Yeah.
time instead of just a quick little award show highlight.
Yeah, I'm so excited too. It was so much fun. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in to Talk Y'all to Me. We will catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in to Talk Y'all to Me. If this episode encouraged you or reminded you of your calling, share it with someone who needs that same reminder today. Hit the follow button to subscribe so you don't miss what's next, and come hang out with me on social at official Tori Kruse. Keep shining, stay faithful, and keep talking, y'all.